And they're away. Conquers and Conquers goes on the beat.
Well, welcome everybody to our On The Bet Racing Australia preview of a bumper weekend coming up. Of course, many heats happening, but Scotty joining me. We had a bit of a mixed bag for week 4. Of course, we've run 8 heats at the moment, but it was a little bit diverse last Saturday.
Yeah, it was, Chargy. The Country Series special again tonight. We had the 2 meetings from last weekend at Gundawindi and Gympie. Unfortunately, the Gundawindi meeting, it got washed out. Gympie did go ahead, but that meeting from Gundawindi, the 2 heats for the Country Stampede and the Country Cup will be transferred to the Chinchilla meeting for the 7th of November now. But yeah, the Gympie meeting went ahead, and that was a terrific day's racing at Gympie, I believe, and it always is down there. They really get behind their meetings, and great support from the trainers, owners, and also the jockeys.
Yeah, of course. Some very clever people hedged their bets, didn't they? When we did the preview for week 4, there was a couple of dual acceptances. We didn't know which way Paul Hamblin was going to go, and some very smart trainers worked out quickly that there was going to be a weather issue, and they hedged their bets, didn't they, Scotty?
Oh, it was actually a good insurance policy to have, wasn't it? Like, particularly with the winners, because both of those horses were accepted in Gundawindi, and we sort of expected they would go to Gundawindi, both those runners. But yeah, no, it was a very, very good ploy, and I think there was a number of runners that did start at the Gympie meeting that were in for the Gundy meeting as well. So yeah, no, well done to all concerned.
Now let's talk about these winners, because all importantly, both bolting in at Gympie made themselves look very impressive. We touch on the Stampede first, and of course Hard Stride. He's as old as you and I put together for Jason Judge and Paul Hamblin. He absolutely bolted him, didn't he, Scotty?
Oh, it was an absolute, very, very easy win. He just relished that sand surface down there at Gympie, jumped, run. Won by a big space. I think it was about 7 lengths in the run of the line, defeating Victory Toast and See For Yourself. But yeah, no, he's an old horse. He's a 10-year-old Hard Stride, but Jason Judge has done a great job placing the horse. We did mention in the preview, particularly for Gundawindi, we sort of thought he'd be going to Gundy. He drew bad at Gundy, but then with the weather being inclement and the meeting getting postponed and cancelled, he went to Gympie, drew the inside gate, and very, very easy win to Hard Stride.
Yeah, very impressive, wasn't he? Victory Toast, of course, horse that's no slouch. We know him well. See For Yourself there for the Gerrans, running third. So a great race that was. That took us on to the Country Cups, and one of these other very clever trainers in Jackie Crompton had the winner in Richford, and a young fella that we both know well, Ty Wheeler. Good to see him in the saddle.
Yeah, Ty's riding tremendously well. It was great to see him team up with the Jackie Crompton stable. Richford won very easily too, like 4.5 lengths. I think the winning margin between first and second. Murata finished second, and the old boy Fabs Cowboy, a very consistent run to finish in the 3rd spot. But Jackie had the horse accepted for Gundawindi as well, Richford. But I think they had a horse qualify last year as well, the Crompton stable, for the Country Cups final. I think it could have been Richford that was in the actual qualifier last year. But well done to the connections. Congratulations to the Crompton team and also young Ty Wheeler.
Yeah, a couple of very impressive wins, as you said, and it's good that they've been able to transfer that meeting from Gundawindi, or those heats from Gundawindi over to Chinchilla, and of course that'll be Saturday week. So we're looking forward to covering that. Of course, we've had 8 heats down, Scotty. We've been everywhere, man, haven't we? We've been Taroom, Longreach, Yeppoon, Mount Isa, Cloncurry. We've been to Blackall. We've been to Innisfail. We've now been to Gympie. We've missed out on Gundawindi, and got a couple of great meetings coming up, which we'll touch on soon. But Scotty, we won't go through all the winners so far, but anything standing out to you at the moment as a real Here I Am?
Well, I think Hard Stride's win was very impressive. I know it was on the sand surface, but he had form behind Zoo Style, beaten 4.5 lengths and finishing just behind Just Orm. So you match that form line up, and if Hard Stride's on his game, he's going to be pretty hard to beat in the final of the Stampede. Obviously, District, very consistent galloper. And in the Cup, I think Valente, SEL, they're sort of standing out at this stage. And also the Northern contingent, we can't underestimate them as well with Deadly Choices and co. They're definitely going to be up there, when the whips are cracking on December the 5th.
Yeah, I'm finding it very hard to dissect the Stampede at this stage. As I say, you'd have to say that Hard Stride has stood out as one that's really said, "Here I am." Very even behind him, so I'm still unsure of that Stampede. And I'll tell you what, when you have a look at that Country Cups, Deadly Choices, Belente, Eschiel's there, Splits was good. Mercurio's on the way up. I'll tell you what, it's shaping as a ripper, isn't it? And of course, Richford bolting in on the weekend. So it's really building this series, and it's great that we've had those 8 down. Of course, after this weekend, we're well through. We're heading into the back end of the program. And Scotty, we might take a break. We'll come back and have a look at this weekend. Of course, I'm keen to dissect the Burdekin at Home Hill, and you're keen to have a look at Yeppoon, but we'll take a short break and come back with a look at week 5.
On the Bit is proudly supported by Manuplex, creating a more productive future for Australian mining.
We do it all. 1-800 for plumber. Plumber to your door. Bathroom, kitchens, renovations, roof repairs and installations with clear communications. Plumber to your door. 24/7 will be right there. Emergency service on repair. For water and gas, we do it all. Just call for plumber to your door. 1-800 for plumber. Plumber to your door.
Well, Scotty, here we are. You're holidaying in my neck of the woods down at fabulous Woodgate. I look like Tom Hanks in Castaway at the moment, given I've had a week off. So how good's the weather behind you?
Mate, absolutely beautiful down here. And it's a little destination that it's been hid away, I'd suggest, for a number of years, Woodgate, but it's starting to get momentum now. A lot of residential areas are being expanded out towards Goodwood and towards Bundy, and absolutely tremendous beach, about 16k a beach. And I'll tell you what, I went for a jog yesterday, Chargy, but I had to stop. I didn't want to go to the other end because I didn't know how far I'd got, mate. But yeah, no, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful weather down here. They had a little rain earlier in the week, but yeah, no, it's a fabulous breeze down here on the coast. And we're just enjoying a couple of days off. We were going to Melbourne, but obviously we can't head down there for the Cup weekend. We just took a little road trip, mate. And yeah, no, it's a beautiful spot down here at Woodgate.
You bloody Central Queenslanders taking over the Wide Bay region. I tell you what, interesting you said about the jog. I would have made it from the shoreline to the sand dunes. That would have been a I tell you. But anyway, let's move on and have a look at this weekend coming up. Of course, Yeppoon in Central Queensland. Yeppoon Cup, of course, the Stampede Qualifier. Small but select fields. Give us a rundown. There's been a little bit of inclement weather there. How's it looking?
Yeah, no, they've had about 120 mil all up at Yeppoon, and obviously no rain yesterday. And the track was inspected, and it was made a heavy track. They'll inspect it again this morning and again early tomorrow morning. But I think with the way the weather's planned, they're expecting the meeting to go ahead, but it will have the sting out of the ground. And they rated it a heavy yesterday. And smallish fields, Chargy. The Stampede is race number 3. It's 1,000 metres open handicap. It's to go at 110. Only the field of 5, but interesting here, Raymond Williams, he's got a 3-pronged attack here. He's got Shigiri Mahogany, Haylers Tarry, and Cyclone Fugitive. So he's got 3 horses in the 5-horse field, and you've got Raiden, he's got the Steady, the 64.5, and Elise's Miracle for Nick Walsh. It's on the way up. But Haylers Tarry, it's got a good record at the track. Its form of late hasn't been all that flash. And Shigeru Mahogany is a good quality galloper. Finished 5th of 8 behind Bold Xavi, on September the 8th. Before that was a good third to touch chance on. That was in Mackay. That was a strong race that day. Sonia Wasman takes the ride. Elisa's Miracle, it's on the way up. It's past 2 on the trot. Santissimo finished second to Elisa's Miracle. That was back on the 8th of October. And that was a pretty impressive win that day. That was in Rockhampton, and Ellie Smith takes the ride on Elisa's Miracle. But I just zoomed in here, and I think Shigeru Mahogany, the sting out of the ground is going to suit it right down to the ground here. There'll be a lot of speed on. Haler's Tarry will go quick, and Cyclone Fugitive and Elisa's Miracle will also go quick. I think Shigeru Mahogany gets a good run, and with the big pull on the weights off Raiden, I do like it. And, he's a very good horse on his day, Shigeru Mahogany, as we know. We've seen him race some good quality horses, and he's upset a couple in Rockhampton as well, some of the bigger names at some of the TAB meetings. So I'm suggesting that, Shigeru Mahogany probably the hardest to beat. That's in the Stampede Heat race number 3.
Yeah, and of course he can roll along, and he's done a good job carting those horses around, trying to find something to qualify. And as you say, that might be his track there, Shigeru Mahogany tomorrow. How's the Cup looking, the Yeppoon Cup? Another small field, but a bit of depth about it as far as the quality goes.
Yeah, it's not an overly strong field, Chargy. The GJ Gardner's Yeppoon Cup, the Country Cup qualifier, a field of 6, and Chin Chin Billa, Bevan Johnson's taken an insurance policy out with it as well, because he's also accepted up your way for the Home Hill heat as well, in case, I guess, the weather, how the weather was. He's got jockeys down for both places. So at this stage, I'd say Yeppoon will be the option with Chin Chin Billa. Ledude, he's got the steady of the 60 kilos. Will appreciate the sting out of the ground. He won at Claremont last start on the hard surface, but his form on the wet is not too bad. The 1400 metres should suit. JJ was a very good runner in Rockhampton last start, a very good third. Pro-Am, it'll get back and it'll be steaming home at the end for Tracy Simmons. The Ricky Vale Galloper, Fun Tickets, was a winner last start. It's got to be a great chance. And Regal Reese, I liked its win 2 starts back, trained by Chris Haddard, and Michael Murphy takes the ride. He's coming up to take some rides at the meeting. Finished third at Townsville last start over the 1400. That was behind So You Dream and Steele's Time. I think that run suggests that Regal Reese is going to be very, very hard to beat, and I like it to win the Yeppoon Cup and the Country Cups heat for this weekend.
Yeah, and of course, going really well, the horses there, particularly around those tab meetings at Rocky, as you say, and Regal Reese looks a great chance. Well, let's move on to down the road from me, of course, the Burdekin to Home Hill. And again, Scotty, fields are a little bit limited as far as numbers go. What's your take on the meeting?
Yeah, I think Johnny Mansman takes a good hand in both races, doesn't he? He's got horses in both heats, and the cups. He's got three of the runners over the half the field, I think it is, and he got a good chance here with Drumbeat's Choice, Sharanda and Stone Warrior, and then you look at the open handicap over the 1,000, Platinum Tycoon, Seedy Assassin, Catmosphere. But Chargy, I'll throw it over to you, mate. That's up in your form line, and race 3 on the card is at 3:15. That's a tab. Queensland Country Stampede Open Handicap of the heat over 1,000 metres. Yeah,
look, as I said, a small field, but there's a little bit of quality about this. We haven't had a lot of rain up this way. There's been a few showers, but I just want to say hats off to the Home Hill or the Burdekin Race Club. They've done a great job in picking up extra meetings throughout this COVID crisis. I know recently they've had a few extra meetings, and I drive past that track all the time going south to Mackay and Rocky, and it just looks always in great order. It's a tight turning little surface, so you've got to be handy enough to the speed there sometimes at Home Hill at the Burdekin, but they've done a great job, the club. And the Stampede, Platinum Tycoon, he was very good returning to form over the 1,300 metres last start at Mackay. Of course, Johnny Mansman there with Trinity Bannon. Palladians there, he's been a bit disappointing for me of late. Exceeding Assassin, I'm going to touch on him more soon, but he's very impressive, this horse. Exceedingly cool for Renee Lewin. She likes to qualify these horses for the for those big races down south. And I'll tell you what, she's got a small but very select team. And Graham Cleese does the riding on Exceedingly Cool. Catmosphere for Nippy Seymour, the old Yeppoon boys going really well. Kate Southam to ride. And Ronnie Finch has got our recipe. She's starting to show some glimpses of form again. She's just a bonny mare. She's been, like she's 8, I think, maybe rising 9, and she just stays up all the time. But I'm honing in on Exceeding Assassin for Bonnie Thompson. Of course, she trains and rides this horse. And Scotty, he's been very impressive in some tab meetings in the past. And, a few runs back at the Burdick, and he came down here against a hot field. I thought it was a really good non-tab sprinting field, and he was highly competitive there. I think this will suit him. Bonnie Thompson, as I said, rides. I know sometimes when he's got a little bit of weight, she goes towards Frankie Edwards, but she's saying, well, no, I'm qualifying and I'm going to ride. So I think Exceeding Assassin for me is the one we look at sharply for the Stampede. Scotty?
Okay, Exceeding Assassin's Chargie's tip for the Stampede. Now, race 4, Michael, is the Country Cups Challenge. Heat, it's at 3:55. It's the open handicap, and it's over 1,460 metres.
Yeah, good race. Another small field, but I'll tell you what, any one of these runners is capable of winning it. You mentioned Chin Chin Billa there. He's probably going to stay at home unless there's rain down at Yeppoon. But Drum Beach choice is there for Johnny Manson. When he's been up a while, he's been everywhere through those good races in the winter time. He continues to stay up. Johnny Mansman and Trinity Bannon to ride. Sharanda, much the same. Of course, he's a Townsville Cup winner. He's just tough as old boots, isn't he? Sharanda is very, very good. Lay Dramas there. Georgie Holt trains, going okay, starting to show a little bit of form after a couple of runs back, so he could be one to watch. Zamex for Andrew Cameron. Stone Warrior, I think, is a horse that's starting to build his profile into the campaign, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go really well, and Chin Chin Billa's there. But look, for me, Scotty, I'm gonna target Lay Drama. I just think, third run back, he's starting to get fitter all the time, and Chelsea Jockey is riding for Georgie Holt. She's got a very good record around Home Hill, Chelsea, and I just think Lay Drama, he might just be ready to show us something. So he's my target there in the Country Cups.
Lee Drama, the selection for Chargie. That's a pretty good field, isn't it? Like, Sharanda's obviously had a bit of a let up too, Chargie, as you mentioned, and raced through them Cups campaign, and he went to Brisbane as well. But I guess Johnny's honing in on trying to qualify at least one for the Cup anyway, and he's already got one in the Stampede final. But La Drama, the Mount Isa galloper, of course. Daryl Hanson trained earlier as well. I think La Drama raced down near the sunny coast and had good success down there. So if it gets anywhere near its form, I think you're on the ball there, mate. I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat. Then we'll also, meetings are coming up on Melbourne Cup Day as well, Charlie. We've got a couple of heats of both the Stampede and the Cup coming up there as well.
Yeah, of course, they'll be sick of seeing your face and my face. Well, probably more mine at the moment. I've got to get the shaver out, as I said. But we'll be back again on Monday to have a look at, what's transpired from this weekend with Yeppoon and Burdekin. But we're going to have a look at Melbourne Cup Day at Charleville and Cumbia. That Cumbia meeting, always a beauty down there at Melbourne Cup time. I know they attract really big fields. They get a good attendance there at Cumbia. So looking forward to profiling those meetings, Scotty.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, on the 7th, we'll be back with the wrap-up of them meetings next week. And then we'll look at the Chinchilla heat, which was transferred from Gundawindi as well.
Yeah, what a busy week we've got coming up. So, that's a little bit of a wrap-up of or a review of our week 5. I had a look at week 4. Of course, a few little moves around there with the weather. So hopefully, Scotty, the weather's good to us. It looks all right to you at the moment. You got the old Speedos ready or what?
No, I threw them away, mate. I've got the old football shorts on, mate. I don't throw them Speedos anywhere, mate. They're better off staying in the cupboard. And I'll just admire this weather down here on the coast and enjoy a couple of days on the punt and have a couple of drinks over the carnival with the Derby Day and also Cup Day. Yeah,
what a place to do it down at Woodgate. And I've got a busy weekend. Of course, we've got an election happening tomorrow, and we've got Innisfail, more importantly, on Sunday. So looking forward to going there. I better have a shave before I get there and get ready to jump back on with you on Monday. Well, hopefully the Borat suit doesn't come out, Scotty, down there at Woodgate. The beers. Enjoy Derby Day, and I tell you what, looking forward to dissecting the results out of Home Hill and Yeppoon. And how's the tan? You got the spray tan ready?
No, just use the natural, mate. Natural tan. and of course, great to be on board with you, mate, with the country series. Racing Queensland are fully supportive, and it's great to be on this on the Bit Racing Australia site and covering all the meetings that we can for this country series.
Yeah, it's been a beauty so far, hasn't it? Really looking forward to getting down to the business end, and what we've covered so far, we've seen a lot of quality, and it's a great initiative by Racing Queensland and all the team at on the Bit Racing Australia putting together some great packages. So, Scotty, looking forward to catching up with you on Monday, and enjoy your weekend. That's a wrap up of our look at week 5 of the Country Series special, and we'll catch you again early next week.
Hey, thanks, Chargy. Good evening, everyone.